What is up, everybody? My allergies are going crazy, so do forgive me during this video, but I have a little time. You know, we've been busy. We appreciate all the love and support for ISUM #2. You guys have been killing it. I've been seeing the reviews. We've been keeping up with that stuff, and it seems like people are loving ISUM 2, loving the character of Sydney Bloodruth, and Gooding has also been a sleeper character as well. But with the fall out or collapse, if you will, of Disney as of late, there are some lessons that I think everybody as creatives can learn from this. And it's been very fascinating to watch these guys go in the direction it is that they're going. Now we're going to watch the lady that is going to be playing Tokana Snow White coming up, and some of the things it is that she has to say about the original work or the work in general. Let's take a look real quick, if you don't mind. It's pretty self-explanatory, but let's check it out. Let me get you guys some audio.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince, or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. I mean,
Okay,
you know,
so
the original cartoon came out in
yeah, it is Hollywood, baby, and you make a great point there. Now, I don't even know how old this is. I think this is relatively new, but just imagine just going on the promo tour that you're on right now, and where you're doing this basically live action remake or whatever you want to call it, and you're actively crapping on what happened before you. Now, again, tokenization aside, that is just so stupid, and she is killing any momentum that this movie would have had. So it doesn't matter if, and I think where you could learn from, it doesn't matter if you're going to go see Snow White. I wasn't. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I was just going to be lining up to see it. But you see the type of contempt that these people have for this works. And I think that's part of why Hollywood is falling like it is. And they don't seem to understand that. Actors don't, writers don't, directors don't, as not only do they seem to disrespect stuff that came before them, and they are arrogant and egotistical, narcissistic enough to believe that they have to put their own spin and flavor on everything that comes out, even though they're trying to take advantage of what came before them off of that name recognition. They needed some sort of starting point, and then they just screw everything up. They also, of course, treat fans of maybe that material with a lot of issues. But to just imagine going on that promo tour, basically crapping on what came before you. The core elements of these stories are you feel are dated, or you feel like there's fundamental problems with them. And then the person that is looking forward to viewing this is forced to think, why on earth are you remaking it in the first place if you had that much of a problem with the original stuff, or at least what came before you? That's a lesson that I think anybody can pick up with who you bring on board. Definitely if you're like in a spot like I am, where you're hiring other people, you're not going to nail it with every hire. You can't control, and maybe you shouldn't be controlling everybody's actions and what it is that they say. But there needs to be some level of mutual respect between yourself as a company, yourself as a brand, and the people that you have, let's say, representing it. And that needs to be understood and communicated like initially, before something goes off the rails early on. And everybody's, no matter who, if you're seeing success, you're going to have to deal with some, like, be the rogue employee or something. You got to be able to manage that crisis. It's on the way. It's going to happen. But at least you can mitigate some of those problems by simply not bringing on acts. Now, again, it could be one or two different things. Maybe Disney's putting her up to it. Like, these are talking points that you need to have on the road. Or she's just, again, saying what's really on her mind. And either way, it's still bad. It's a bad move. So there's lessons to be had there in who you bring on. Get people that are enthusiastic about the project, and there's no reason. If you're going to be doing something based on something that already has a baked-in fan base or audience, if you're not going to respect it, just leave it alone. It's not even worth it. It's not worth the because you're going to get backlash either way. And why bring that upon yourself? What's the point? Just create something new. If you wanted to tell some story about a character that even was mildly similar to Snow White, which again, you can't really do that. But even let's say if you could somehow pull it off where it came off as semi-original and a completely different character and another princess or whatever, go tell that story. That's the solution. But they don't got it in them. And with this coming from Disney, with the amounts of flops that they've had over the years, it's just fascinating. 2024, I believe this movie is going to come out. And it seems like it may be already dead on arrival, which is it's unfortunate for them.